The reflection in the window, part 3. Samantha's heart raced as she stood frozen in place. The cold, clammy hand on her shoulder was gone, but the air around her felt thick, suffocating. Every nerve in her body screamed to run, but her legs refused to obey. The whisper was getting louder, twisting and turning in her mind, like a chant from a forgotten language. "It's already too late," it repeated, over and over again. Her breath came in ragged gasps, her eyes locked onto the reflection. In the window, unable to look away, the figure was closer now. Its form shifting as if it were made of smoke, its features flickering in and out of focus. It wasn't a human shape. No, it was something else, something darker. The longer she stared, the more she realized it was moving, not just in the reflection, but toward her. The space between the window and her body seemed to stretch impossibly thin, as if the world itself was bending. Suddenly, with a violent crack, the glass of the window shattered, sending shards flying outward. Samantha screamed and stumbled backward, her arms shielding her face. But as the glass rained down around her, the figure in the window didn't disappear. It stepped forward, its form emerging from the shards of glass as if the window was no longer a barrier at all. Samantha scrambled to her feet, her legs shaking. She turned and bolted for the door, but as she reached the threshold, the house seemed to shift. The door slammed shut with a force so strong that it rattled the walls. She spun around, eyes wide with panic. The figure was now standing in the hallway, blocking her escape. It was tall, unnaturally tall, its limbs elongated and twisted. The darkness that enveloped it seemed to seep into the walls of the house, like the shadow of death itself. Its face, if you could even call it that, was a hollow mask, a void where eyes should be, with a jagged, twisted smile stretching impossibly wide. "Leave," the voice whispered again, this time so close she felt the cold breath on her neck. "You can't stay here. You never should have come." Samantha's knees buckled beneath her, her mind racing for a way out, but there was no escape. Her hands shook violently as she reached for her phone, but it slipped from her grasp and clattered to the floor, and that's when she heard it, the faintest scraping sound. Her eyes darted to the floor, where the reflection of her own feet was no longer there. The figure's hands were reaching up from the shadows, dragging itself closer, pulling itself from the floor as if it had no need for legs. Its fingers stretched toward her like bony claws. Samantha tried to scream, but no sound came. Her throat had gone dry, her body paralyzed with fear. Then, with a bone-chilling crack, the figure's hands closed around her ankles. The air in the room grew colder, so cold that she could see her breath, swirling like smoke in front of her. With one last desperate attempt, she lunged for the door again, but as she touched the handle, it shifted. The door was now a wall of blackness, an endless void where the door once stood. There was nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. The figure's hollow voice whispered one final time, "You've seen us, now you belong." And then the house fell silent. Hello everyone. I hope you are liking the series so far. Please leave a like and subscribe if you like short stories that are a tad on the creepy side. Comment below if you have ever had a creepy encounter.